Hello everybody, it's Big People here again, and if you're wondering, that was my phone, why I'm doing this series, I just want to do a Dragon Ball What If, and I like future Gohan, especially since I watched the What If that's based off this. I took this idea from someone. You'll find them pretty easily, honestly. Just search up What If Future Gohan, and then you'll see it. It's pretty popular right now. Came out like 11 days ago. Anyways, I want to get into my story now. I'm not going to take a lot of beats from him, but a couple. Just a tiny bit. But anyways, let's get into it. So we start our story, well, where it usually begins, with Gohan chopping Trunks' neck. And then Gohan flies away to go fight the androids. This time, sadly, Gohan's training kind of backfired on him. Because that chop knocked him out for only a couple minutes. So, Trunks gets up and flies towards Gohan, which Gohan at the moment is losing to the androids. He's almost out of energy, but he still has a couple more blasts in him. That is until Trunks shows up and starts fighting the androids, which horrifies Gohan. Him realizing that the only reason Trunks is up right now is because he trained him to kind of tank those kind of blasts from the back. And so Gohan desperately tries to pull Trunks away from the fight, but every single time he tries, the androids pummel him right back to the ground, and they just start teaming on Trunks. Like, they hold his arms up and they just start body shotting him. As I've always said, in my offside of camera, I think the androids they're pretty bad, honestly. They would really suck without their infinite power source and their teaming. All their techniques are pretty bad, and they don't know how to fight really. So they would kind of lose if it was no energy and teaming. No, seeing how teaming didn't work against true skill and power doesn't really matter. Anyways, Gohan screaming to Trunks to run, but it's kind of hard for him to do that when he's being held in place, punched in the gut. But future Gohan, being desperate, decides to power up his entire being, even his Super Saiyan transformation, into this attack, into his final Kamehameha, trying to save Trunks. When he's about to shoot the attack, they let go of Trunks and teleport behind him and break his arm, his remaining arm. So basically, he's useless now. And when that happens, they fly above Trunks in the same way it happened to Gohan. And the blast happens, and it shoots Trunks right into the ocean. Shoots future Gohan, right into the ocean, skipping him so far he hits a mountain. Like, he skips off of the water and hits a mountain, through the mountain, and then keeps skipping because that blast was so powerful. And then he just slams right into Kame House, destroying it actually. And then Gohan gets knocked out. A few hours later, Gohan awakes with his arm still broken, but still being alive. Then him being shocked awake, basically, and flying towards the site which just happened, flying past the broken mountain and away from Kame House. Then he lands next to Trunks. Gohan breaking his arm basically back into place where he can move it again, and starts to try resuscitating Trunks, even though he sees there are holes through him. There are holes through his stomach, couple, not like big holes, but like tiny holes, and through his body, and even one through his eye. He still tries to resuscitate him, but it's just not working, and this makes Gohan scream in fury until the fury just dissipates and he just crumples, his eyes watering and him being broken. And we just see future Gohan just sit there for a very long time because we see the buildings and everything slightly change, but not a lot. Like it's slightly more crumpled and there's less, and it's drier. And we see future Gohan being getting a 4 o'clock shadow. Which we can now deduce that was a couple days later. And then Trunks. Wait. Yeah, then Gohan gets up after mourning him for about a week, picking up Trunks and flying towards Bulma, the Capsule Corp. When he lands, he puts Trunks gently on the ground and flies away, not wanting to give Bulma not wanting to face the consequences of his actions. Thinking Bulma can fix him, Bulma will give him something to bring back to life, but that never happens. Gohan just goes back to where he usually sits, but much colder and his eyes dilated. And a lot of months happen. Even Trunks Gohan hears a lot of destruction happening with the androids, but him just being too dull to help. After Trunks' death, he's kind of felt cold and he doesn't want to help, and he's kind of lost the motivation to help. Because Trunks was one of his motivations to keep going. But sadly, he is now gone, and that makes Gohan sad. Of course. Then, future Gohan gets up eventually with a slight more of a beard, but he just shaves it off with a single ki blast. then Gohan then goes to Capsule Corp, only to be greeted by Bulma with with an even colder expression than he has right now, which I know is very sad to see Bulma like this. But Bulma just lost a son and is not really accepting it at this point, and is more blaming Gohan for everything that has happened. Even the androids, he's blaming him because no reason, really. She's just blaming him. And eventually, she actually pulls out a gun and shoots Gohan, which just ricochets off him, making his head kind of bleed, but not completely. So, like a little drip goes down his face. Making Gohan feel cold, not feeling it at all. Basically ignoring it almost, saying he's sorry, but Bulma ignores his apology and then just keeps riddling him with bullets. Of course, all this is doing is leaving holes in his gi. She keeps shooting until her mag runs out. And then she just throws the butt of the gun into Gohan's face, hurting his nose slightly, but he doesn't care. And of course, Gohan just leaves afterwards. But Bulma does say if he ever comes back, the time machine will be ready, or she's gonna have another gun ready. Then Gohan just stays away for a super ultra, like 3 years, but I think it was 6 years actually, in the original timeline. Let's say Gohan getting some light back after a year. Even then, it's still pretty cold expression. He trains more and tries to unlock something he just can't grasp. The only and he knows why he can't grasp it. His his fury has diminished, and the only reason he became a Super Saiyan is because of his fury. And his fury has now dissipated, and the only reason that fury has dissipated is because of his own actions. So the only reason he is not strong is because of himself, even though it's the android's fault for killing Trunks. But anyways, Gohan, after 6 years of training, actually 5 years of training, never going to his mother's house because he knows his mother would just be sad that her son looks like this, and he doesn't want to put any more stress on her. But it's more stressful that her son hasn't checked in on her for 6 more years than the other longer years. But anyways, that's her. But Gohan finally returns back to Chi-Chi at Bulma, with Bulma having the time machine ready for Gohan to go in. But there is something written on it saying, never come back. And so Gohan gets into the time machine, uh, just just going in, no goodbyes or anything. Bulma actually just goes inside to have a drink because we see her open the cage with a lot of bottles everywhere. And then Gohan gets to the past, exits his time machine. Okay. Okay. Gohan. Gohan then lands where the Z-Fires are close to. We're actually freezing. Cooler. Cold? Yeah, it's cold. King Cold. You can say Gohan's colder than him. Gohan. Then Gohan just immediately blitzes Frieza, not even giving him the chance to see what he just transformed into. A Super Saiyan, and he just stabs Frieza, making him drop to his knees, and then Gohan obliterates him in a second. Then King Cold tries to throw an attack, but Gohan does the same thing he did to Cold's son, shooting his head straight off his shoulders, only his horns being left onto the ground. Then Cold falls over dead. Then Gohan flies higher up, charges a ball, kind of like a spirit bomb, but not a spirit bomb, throws it down, and then blows up Frieza's ship. Then he lands back on the ground, saying he is a time traveler and he's gonna wait for Goku to arrive. And that's all they need to know for now. Anyways, Goku eventually arrives, exits the screen, wondering what the power level just showed up, but actually more scared, more afraid for his friends of how cold it was. How cold the energy was that just appeared out of nowhere, basically. That is until Gohan turns around in Super Saiyan. Like, as soon as he turns around, he goes Super Saiyan. And and immediately tells uh, Goku he wants to talk. Uh-oh. Anyways. Trunks. Oh. So Gohan immediately starts explaining Goku what's happening, in front of everyone, by the way. He explains what the androids are, what they look like, and what is happening. And telling Goku that he has a heart virus and pulling up the heart medicine. Bulma didn't give it to him, he just had it. The reason he just had it is because in this timeline of events, that heart medicine already existed. But the only reason Goku didn't take it is because Goku was killed in battle instead of dying on a heartbed. You know? Anyways, Gohan immediately tells Goku, um, he doesn't even refer to him as Dad, him saying he was Gohan, by the way, from a dark timeline that is horrible and he wishes he never existed and that timeline never existed as well. But he's here to change this timeline so it never happens. And then Gohan makes him use it right now. So Goku takes it, and then the heart disease disappears. Then he just drops the gives the capsule to Bulma because free capsule. Then Gohan just grabs another capsule out of his thing. Him having multiple, by the way. Him throwing it out to reveal a couple dead fish like skeletons. He used it as a trash can before, but he then just uses this capsule as a thing to hold the time machine, so no evildoers can use it. No demonic things or something. Gohan just doesn't want to go back. He's gonna follow Bulma's advice, and he's just gonna live out his sad, cold, and depressing days here. And before Goku could even say, "Come train with us," Gohan just says, "He'd be a waste of time to train. He has reached his peak, and he is no longer useful to them." Then Goku tries to explain why that's not true, but Gohan doesn't hear it and just leaves. Then he goes into the woods around Gohan, original Gohan, old Gohan, Goku's grandpa, Grandpa Gohan, you know him? Yeah, he's in Dragon Ball. Not Z, Super, or GT. None of that. Anyways, Goku, uh, the Z Fighters and Goku isn't part of the Z Fighters, what am I doing? Train for the androids. Then Gohan just lives out a couple of his days. That is until he realizes where he just set up camp. Right next to the city that the androids attack. And by the way, Trunks, okay. Gohan, uh, okay, not next to the place the androids attacked, but like the island over. like he flew islands so he couldn't be found easily, and he actually suppresses his ki so the Z fighters have a harder time finding him. And that is until he sees the Z fighters flying over him. Gohan making basically a second Kame house, but more like a Gohan house. Yeah, future Gohan house. And then Gohan realizes it's probably destiny that he has to go help them. So he leaves. He drops the hoe he was using to farm, powers up into Super Saiyan, and flies over to the island, landing next to the Z fighters and telling Yamcha that he should stay out of it because he specifically remembers him getting penetrated through the stomach. Then Yamcha hears this and just says that he can't just leave people to die. Then Gohan breathes um, a sigh of coldness. Like seriously, it looks like there was um, a puff of smoke basically out of future Gohan's mouth. And we see Gohan with a wooden arm, by the way. The reason he has a wooden arm is because he made one. That isn't until Bulma interjects and says she can make him a new one, but Gohan says, Gohan. Then Gohan just tells her if she feels like making it, she can make it. But she'll have to find his island if you want to give it to him. Little side quest, basically. Then Bulma says, "Is that a challenge?" And then Gohan tells her, "No, just dead as no." But he is happy to see Baby Trunks, and he gives Baby Trunks a glare that makes Baby Trunks kind of shed a tear. No, like busting out crying, but like shed a tear. Like he feels like this person has no happiness, which babies aren't used to. Then Gohan flies with Yamcha. They land. Yamcha and Gohan going together. Gohan turning around to realize it wasn't the androids that he remembered. It was this old man that he remembers as Dr. Gero because he knows who Dr. Gero is. Yo, Chun. Gohan. Then powers up into Super Saiyan and then immediately goes behind Android 18, 19, Android 19. And instead of getting tears off both Android 19's arms and then shoots a ki blast into one of the holes of the missing arms, then exploding Android 19 from the inside, which scares off Dr. Gero to fly away, but then he just stops Yamcha from following him, telling him that they have to go find the others first. But luckily for them, the others already showed up. And so in this version, Goku is still here. Let's say Vegeta shows up as soon as they start flying away towards Dr. Gero. So they follow Dr. Gero to the lab, where he's almost activated the androids. But Gohan just shoots a ki blast through him. But Dr. Gero slams the buttons onto them, which makes Gohan say no, and Gohan charges a Kamehameha and blows up the entire lab, knowing everyone in there that are next to him can live it. It was just a desperate attempt to hopefully kill the androids before they awake. Sadly, that didn't work, so Android 17, 18, and 16. 16 was opened after uh, Dr. Stro slammed on that button. He couldn't really control which ones opened. If he was still alive, he probably would have. Then Gohan sees the androids appear and gets flashbacks and actually freezes, like, completely. No movement. He's not even twitching, his eyes aren't twitching. Then Goku sees his son in so much distress, so he picks him up. Then flies so fast away because his son's in distress and he doesn't like that. Even though this isn't his son, he still needs to protect the other Goku's son, you know? So he brings Gohan to the thing, which makes Gohan out of fight, and Goku as well. So 2Z fighters out. So basically it's a much faster wash because there's no Trunks there this time. Then after Gohan and Trunks, then after that fight, Gohan wakes up in shock, saying sorry that he froze up like that. But then Goku gives Trunks a robot arm that Bulma was developing, like with Vegeta's armor. It was these actually. Then he pulls off his wooden arm, places it on the table, and then he puts the robot one on. Basically, wires like stabbing into him so that they can like go into the key surge, basically. Then Gohan puts the hand to him, and then it just and then Gohan's hand just starts fingers start flickering, basically like Joseph's Joestar in Joestar's Bizarre Adventures. JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. I don't know why I said Joestar Bizarre Adventures. Anyways, he recalibrates to his energy, and then he purposely makes a ki blast to see if it works, and it works. So he dissipates it back into his ki. Then Gohan and Goku. Both. Okay, now I gotta remember what was happening in that. After Goku wakes up. What happens after Goku wakes up? What happens after Goku wakes up? Oh yeah. By the way, both Gohan and Goku went to Kame House after they heard the androids were coming to kill Goku, but Goku didn't want to fight anyone when his son was in such distress. So they went to Kame House. Then after Goku hears about the semi-perfect cell, he goes to help Tien, Piccolo. Oh no, he goes to help Piccolo. Go on. Anyways, how does that work? Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah, I was like, my brain was all fuzzy, but then I remembered that. Yeah, Goku goes help Piccolo and Tien, then they go to the Kami Lookout, and then that's what happens. And Piccolo was, uh, Palpatine, yeah. Yeah. Gohan, 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 Gohan. Yeah. So both Gohan and Goku then get younger Gohan, and then when Goku suggests that they go into have about time together, Gohan profusely says no because it should be a father-son time, not a father alternate son time. And plus, he's just too weak to give them any challenge. Anyways, Gohan then says that probably Vegeta and Trunks should go in. Vegeta and him should go in. And then Vegeta turns to Gohan to ask, why would he want to? Why would the great Vegeta train with a low-class warrior? Until Gohan just says, we are on the same power level. Which Vegeta then starts yelling that he isn't, but then he does realize that he actually is really weak right now. So he scoffs and says Gohan can help him achieve something beyond Super Saiyan. So both Gohan and wait, this time Goku and Gohan go into the time chamber first. But after they get out after a bit, uh, instead of them getting going immediately to semi-cell, they just suggest that Gohan and Vegeta go in first, going after, because they have so much confidence that if semi perfect cell does anything, they'll be there in a second because it's a transmission. Then both Gohan and Vegeta train, with Gohan then telling Vegeta the news of the future, knowing Vegeta won't take it well, so he knows if he does it inside here, at least he'll get a slight good training out of it. Which, after hearing what Gohan let the androids do to his future son, he goes berserk. Like, he goes so berserk that his muscles start bulging. Basically, like, big. Then I think it's Gohan, yeah. I can't remember what that power was called that Trunks and Vegeta unlocks during the fight versus Vegeta versus Semi-Perfect Cell. But he gets, I'm gonna call it Super Saiyan buff form, basically. Yeah. He almost unlocks that, but, the fight continues, and then Vegeta finally unlocks the power. And then that was Super Saiyan Beyond. It's actually crazy how fast it's how fast they unlocked it was really good, because then Gohan can now unlock that form. But he actually decides not to. He just decides to train with said Vegeta. With Vegeta now getting overconfident, like he always did, with Gohan perfectly knowing that he was going to do that. He seems smirking. Something he's planning. Then Gohan and Vegeta train, with Gohan actually being on level with Vegeta in his new form. But no one knows why he's able to reach. But after they exit the time chamber, with Vegeta being inside form, the buff form, but degrading, with Gohan being the exact same power level he was at. Basically, they exit the time chamber in their full power to see what Goku would react to, with Gohan being a bit excited. But he does say, do they want to have a shot with Semi-Perfect Cell? If you're wondering, yes, Semi-Perfect Cell has still not found Android 18 and Android 16, because he's stupid. Then Vegeta and Gohan fly over to, wait a minute. Yeah, pretty long one, I guess. Then they fly over to Semi-Perfect Cell, and before the fight even begins, Vegeta immediately pushes future Gohan to the side, saying he has this. Then Vegeta powers up to his buff form, and then starts whipping Semi-Perfect Cell. But that is until Semi-Perfect Cell says he's not even at his perfect form, so he wouldn't give him such a challenge. So Vegeta decides, why not? But before Vegeta can do the whole screw up the timeline, future Gohan stabs Vegeta straight through the stomach, killing him. Then all the Vegeta fighters realize that Vegeta just died, which shocks everyone and makes Goku turn into a Super Saiyan, actually going so far as to be beyond Vegeta's power level, but not as strong as Gohan. Then Super Perfect Semi-Perfect Cell gets shocked. Then he realizes that he got eviscerated from the bottom up. He's being eviscerated right now. Then after Future Gohan kills him, he flies over Android 18, tearing her organs out of her, and then strangling her with her own things. And before Android 16 can do anything, Future Gohan blasts 16's head straight off its body, bouncing it like a volleyball afterwards. Then 16 falls over, almost dead. Then Future Gohan kills Android 18 by suffocation. Not suffocation, more like just breaking her entire neck and squishing it. Basically what basically what Dr. Gero did to that one guy not in the manga. Anyways, after that has happened, Future Gohan walks and sees Goku appear, then realizing what Gohan just did. He just killed Vegeta, Semi-Perfect Cell. You can see Semi-Perfect Cell's tail on the ground. Then Gohan destroys it so it doesn't regrow. Perfect Cell. He also sees how brutal he was with Android 18. Then Goku realizes what he has to do. Goku goes full power, and Gohan also goes full power. What they thought it was his full power wasn't even close to what he was. Gohan goes beyond what Vegeta was. He goes beyond what Goku is. He goes into Super Saiyan 2. And you're wondering how Gohan became a Super Saiyan without Vegeta, a Super Saiyan 2 without Vegeta knowing. It's because one time Goku went too far out, turned into Super Saiyan right as he punched Vegeta, knocking him straight out. Then Gohan realized what power he just got. Vegeta was out cold for a really long time, by the way, after that punch. So Gohan was able to train with the power for a very long time. About like 3 months. That's how hard he hit Vegeta. And then Vegeta completely forgets that fight, so that's the reason he wasn't able to predict that Gohan would stab him. And then Gohan teleports behind his father, puts his hand around his father's head, and snaps his neck. Yeah, it's getting a bit quick in pace, right? I kind of want to just do a one shot, honestly. if you're wondering. I post. Never mind, never mind. Doesn't matter. So after Goku dies, falling, crumpling to the ground with his eyes dilating, him transforming out of Super Saiyan, and Gohan, future Gohan, just sitting there with a Dialux face. And you're wondering why future Gohan is being so dark right now, why he's being all murdery and stuff. Well, he can't take it anymore. If he can't have a perfect timeline, then no one can. So then Gohan becomes the villain, killing all the Z fighters, even his past self. The only person he leaves alive is Trunks, and he raises Trunks to be like him, vengeful by all people that have been better than them. And then Gohan becomes uh, becomes Goku Black, but Gohan Black basically. We see his key chains. Basically, he's Goku Black, but he's Gohan Black. So he travels back to his time with enough energy to travel multiple decades and stuff. Back to Bulma, who is drinking her last bottle of alcohol. Then her turning around to see Trunks. Trunks at the same age he died, actually. That's how long he was there to get that much fuel. But before Bulma can even think of giving him a hug, Trunks kills her with a massive burning attack, blowing up both Capsule Corp and her. Yeah, it's getting a bit dark here. Yeah, you didn't expect that, did you? Then we see Goku go through all timelines, non-canon timelines, and we see him grow bigger and bigger in power until we see him as an ultra ego Gohan, and we see Trunks as an ultra instinct Trunks, and we also see a couple more other Trunks and Gotenks in his army, also having either ultra ego or ultra instinct. And some of them even having Super Saiyan Blue. Basically, he makes an army of the sons of Goku to destroy timelines. And he also mass produces a lot of the time machines, grabbing the time machines from different timelines, killing the Bulmas, of course, and grabbing the Gohan either or Trunks that have either been or young or older, and brainwashing them basically. And then Gohan just travels the universe, killing Supreme Kai sometimes. A lot of times, actually. He kills him in every single timeline. So, he doesn't have to deal with Beerus. How do you learn about Beerus? While he was in one of his trips, Beerus showed up to go stop him, but he killed Supreme Kai before he could get killed, which made Beerus disappear. And then that's how Gohan learned. And then after a really long time, we see a really old Gohan uh, drop on the ground after aging to a ripe age of, I don't know, a bajillion years. Like he like kept making wishes on the Dragon Balls until the Dragon Balls just didn't want to work anymore. They just stopped giving him wishes. So Gohan decides to live out his last days back on his little house area, and then Trunks from the original timeline takes over for Gohan. And then Gohan dies in his rocking chair that he made for himself. then Trunks, then Gohan dies. Realizing what of a horrible person he was being as Gohan Black. Anyways, sad story, I know. Anyways, like, subscribe, hit the post notification bell. That's where I'm gonna leave things right now. Not. Anyways, dark ending, but sad ending as well. Anyways,